Okay, we're going to move on now and talk about what an arithmetic sequence is. So an arithmetic sequence, and I will go ahead, so this is in the slides for you. I'm going to go ahead and click back over to Ladybug so I can follow the notes with you. The definition of an arithmetic sequence. An arithmetic sequence is a sequence in which the difference between the successive terms is constant. Okay, pretty easy to tell what's going on with an arithmetic sequence because the numbers are either all being added the same or they're all being subtracted the same. So in other words, the sequence is created by repeatedly adding a number, and that number might be negative, so then it would be like subtracting a number. So here's an example of an arithmetic sequence, and this one's a pretty easy, pretty obvious one because we can tell that what's happening as I move from one number to the next number is that we're just adding 2. Okay, plus 2, 6, plus 2 is 8, 8, plus 2 is 10, 10, plus 2 is 12, etc., etc. We could find more terms, we could find more numbers in this sequence, but this is an example of what an arithmetic series would look like. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the recursive formula in regards to this arithmetic series, okay? So the recursive formula can be written 2 ways, all right? It can either be written a sub n plus 1 equals a sub n plus d, or it can be written a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus d, right? So I wanted to show you both versions. Here it's just regular a sub n, and then it's just minus 1 over here. I mean, so all they do for this formula is take the plus 1 and move it over here to the minus 1. My personal preference on this, and what I'll use more often than the other one, I'll try to show you some of both most of the time, but I really like this one. And the reason I really like this one is because it starts with a sub n. So if you're looking for a sub 1, that's what's right there. A sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4. I think it's a little bit more confusing if you're trying to do a sub n plus 1. So you're looking for the 4th term. You really have to do 3 plus 1 to get the 4th term here. I think it's just a little bit more confusing. So I prefer this one, but they both work. A sub 1 is the first term. And you must have the first term for a recursive formula to work out like you need it to, in order to use the recursive formula to find more of the terms. D is the difference. Okay, so we're going to go back up here and we're going to write the recursive formula for this sequence that we're given up here. And I'll write it both ways just to show you what it would look like. Okay, so if I write it using this formula, it's going to say a sub n plus 1 equals a sub n, and then you do plus d, so plus 2, the difference. And that's it. So you leave the n's there because what this does is this allows you to find more terms in the sequence, okay? But you have to know the starting place. So that's it, okay? And if we use the other version, the a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus d, then we just do a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus 2. So this can be written either way. It can be a plus 1 on the left or a minus 1 on the right. It doesn't make any difference. So that's what we call the recursive formula. What you get out of it mainly is this D, right? We're going to do some examples on the next page of what we'll do with that.